Hi legends. Ooh, what a nice fake out year to the upside on the price of Bitcoin. Inflation data came out lower than expected, and then we have this mini pump to the upside, and then we just crash down. Quite surprising that we get good news and the market takes a dump here to the downside, right? So what are those next high probable trading scenarios that we need to keep an eye on? Okay. Also, this morning during my session with the Legends Trading community, there was a sign of weakness that was potentially discussed, which I'll go through in a second. Smash up the like on your way in. Let's go through some alpha. I see some of the legends inside the community here already. Mr. Frank, welcome. First like, let's rock. Welcome. Mr. Crypto Big Brains, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Goldstar, hey, hey, hey. Always Mr. Hey, hey, hey. MK Alexander, hello legends. Hope you're all having a great day. Mr. Scoot, let's go. Yes, let's go. Let's go and analyze the price of Bitcoin together. Let's look at CVD. If there are some altcoin requests, we can go and look at those ones as well. Hopefully, some altcoin requests that we haven't looked at before. And Mr. Crypto Big Brains will keep me in the loop, and you will read through the comments, and if there's anything pertinent or more than one person asking for a specific altcoin, he will highlight that to me. Okay, because sometimes I don't get to go through every single comment. Right, legends. Crazy price action. Let me share my screen over here. Okay. I remember I was watching a little bit of Andy's live stream a little bit earlier on during the session, okay, where the CPA data got released, and he had a poll, and most of the people said we're going to have a breakout to the upside, okay, and I just wondered to myself, every time most people are bullish, we get the opposite. Every time most people are bearish, we get the, bullish price action to the upside. So not strange, okay? It doesn't surprise me that we had to fake out here to the upside. Right, Mr. 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿 Diaz, I see you and Andy every day. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you enjoy the TA. Nice content. Thank you so much. I said dump. Mr. Alexander, I think, yes, you did say dump. I think I read your comment there in Andy's stream as well. You did say dump. Well done. Right, so now we need to look for the next trading opportunity. Where are the next bouncing areas, okay? Are we going to come and take this low once again? Legends, that is the question. I mean, people see a dump like this to the downside, and everyone is saying we're going to come claim the lows. Okay? Everyone see the small little breakout here to the upside, and we're going to $100,000. I mean, the market just overreacts with price movement that just really, it never ceases to amaze me. Okay, legends, nonetheless, we had a couple of very successful trades the last week or 2 weeks or so, okay? During my live stream, I always talk about these trades where we longed the bottom over here, we shorted the top over there, we longed again over here, took profits over here, and then we longed again over here. I closed 80% of my position over there. I was hoping for the breakout to continue with that 20% of my position that I had open, and then my entry price was round about here somewhere. So I told the legends this morning as well, what I'm planning to do is, if I do see a breakout here to the upside, I'm going to add to my position and it will drag my entry up, okay? And I can still protect my position. So it's still a free trade. So what I did is I did see the breakout here to the upside. I added to my position. My entry was here just below the wick. My stop loss was slightly above, okay? Expecting, the good news to carry us to the moon, as they say, okay? And then I got stopped out at break even with no loss. So I'm happy. I managed my risk. It's all about risk management, right? So legends, now we're getting a dump here to the downside, and the question is, how low can we go? Okay, legends, before I dive in, remember down in the video description, under exchanges, okay, Bluffin, up to $80,000 bonus, one of the biggest sign-up bonuses offered by anyone, no KYC required, and go sign up, come trade with me. I've also got Bybit and 𝗞𝗍cie with the lowest fees. Unfortunately, if you do not like to KYC, these two exchanges do require KYC. Right, and then also first link down in the description if you'd like to join myself and Andy inside the Discord community. I also do see a lot of people asking me for the settings of our CVD indicator over here. If you'd like the settings, I have no issue sharing the settings, okay? You don't have to pay me money. You don't have to do anything else. All you have to do is join the free Discord section. We've got a free section and a Legends Pro section. If you join the free section, you can just tag me and ask me, Devil, please send me the CVD indicator settings, and I will send it to you. Okay, no questions asked. Right, we need to help each other over here, and I think a lot of people enjoy the settings over here that I've got instead of just using the default settings. Okay, right. Legends, okay, where are we now, right? How much lower can we go? So, I mean, from a pattern perspective, what you would like to see is for us to hold, okay, the bullish pennant. And this was just a fake out here to the upside. And as soon as we lost, okay, this trend over here, I told the legends inside of our Discord, let me just drag it, or let me just open it up over here, Discord. Right, so just so you guys can see, you know, I try and keep the legends as updated as I can. Inside of this pennant, I highlighted to say, legends, because we got acceptance back inside this bull flag, it increases the probabilities that we're going to fall down. And the next area that I'm looking at is that $59,000 300 area. Currently acceptance back inside the flag. This increases probabilities to come down. I'm looking at 59,378. Okay, and then I said, okay, and then we hit that level and I said, no bounce. Now I wait for the next level, right? And currently we're getting a small little bounce here to the upside, but I do not like this bounce. And the reason I don't like this bounce is because more locally, I am spotting bearish CVD. You can see price moving up here. Okay, can you guys see? Right? Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. Welcome, legends. Hello, Julian. Welcome. Okay, so what I'm seeing over here, let's just zoom into this price structure over here. Okay, this is why CVD is so powerful. Okay, it does take, okay, I'm not going to lie, legends, it does take some getting used to. Every indicator requires a little bit of commitment and dedication and learn how it works, okay? And I hope that through my live streams and my daily updates to the Legends community, trading Legends community, that, you know, you will get the feel for it, but it does come with experience. But what I do not like about this momentum here to the upside is you can see that we are already building bearish CVD, okay? Especially on yellow, we are building bearish CVD with the momentum here on the way up against this pivot, right? This one already played out. That one already, yes, this was quite aggressive, bearish CVD. It already played out because the target was the low and we just fell much deeper. But now, as we are consolidating and getting a little bit momentum here to the upside, we are still building up bearish CVD, which tells me that there's a possibility that we can still come down lower. Okay, so legends, the one thing I do want to highlight over here is that regardless of how low we go inside of this zone over here, there is still a high probability that we are going to come and claim this high. Okay, even with this dump and the fear at the moment, there is still, as per the thumbnail, I am still bullish because the probabilities, even with a dump here to the downside, are still higher to take the high before we take the low. So I'm not saying we're not going to take the low. I'm just saying the probabilities from what I'm seeing in this structure tells me that there's a higher chance of taking the high before we take the low. Maybe after we've taken the high, then there'll be another probability that I'll see from a price action perspective that increases the probability of coming to take the low. But for now, based on this price action, probabilities are higher to take the high first. Why do I say that? Is the question, okay? Right, legends, the reason why I say that is that a lot of people are looking at this as a corrective structure to the upside. A, B, C, and now we need to continue momentum here to the downside. $41,000, that's the level that everyone's calling for. Right, what you would like to see in this structure, okay, is bullish structures building momentum to go down lower. And there is just no impulsive structures inside of this range, okay? So what you would like to see from an impulsive structure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no overlaps. Okay, that's an impulsive structure. This retracement needs to be maximum target 786. Now, this is where the problem comes in. Some of the analysts are saying this is a 1, 2, sorry, that's completely out of whack. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 here to the downside. But there's just too many problems inside of the structure for impulses to continue to the downside. So first rule is when I take a fib from the high to the low, I drag it across. Okay, that first 1, 2 is perfect. You can see perfect bounce here on the 786, right? Because it has to be a double 1, 2. It can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't, because what the hell is this? So now analysts are looking at this as a double 1, 2, which is more bearish. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, the biggest problem I see with impulses to the downside is the second structure. When I take a fib from the high to the low, we almost tapped the high over here. Okay, most likely like the 0.9 if you have to go and measure it out. So this drastically reduces the probabilities for a double 1, 2 here to the downside, and then it increases the probabilities that this structure, okay, is corrective and not impulsive to the downside, which means you still, if this structure is corrective, you still have a higher chance of coming to claim the high than the low for now. Okay, and it's all just a game of probabilities. Right, legends, so the next levels that I'm watching is the obvious one, okay? Obvious level that I'm watching over here is that we need to stay inside the bull flag. But I'm keeping in mind we had a fake out to the top side, okay? And these patterns just have such a high hit rate in terms of fake outs, okay? So I would not be surprised to have a fake out to the downside. You get acceptance back above, okay, and then the true breakout happens where you come and claim the high. Would not be surprised. So definitely a scenario that I'm keeping an eye on. And how I'm planning to trade this scenario is with levels of confluence. Okay, so what I would like to see is, you can see that I have a SFP line over here, and if we fail this level over here, I will most likely just move my SFP line here to the lows. Okay, so the first level that I'm watching is the SFP from the lows over here, also in confluence with the trend, where you come down and you find acceptance inside, back inside. Okay, you don't lose the bullish flag over here. The second scenario is you have the fake out, you claim the lows, like you claimed the high over there, you claimed the high. And I must say, before I continue over here, someone this morning in the Legends community asked me, Devil, would you consider an SFP from the high over here and the high over here and the high over here? And I actually said, right, that I won't consider an SFP from these highs, because this high has more confluence. When I take a fib extension from the high to the low, I drag it across, I reverse it. Okay, because I'm a high probable trader. I said the reason I like this high is because it has confluence with a Fibonacci level. These highs over here just don't have any confluence, and then true as Bob, it played out. We had a swing failure from that high over there. So we don't always get it right. So I do apologize if that legend is here in the comment section. I do apologize. We did get the swing failure pattern, but I did highlight, if it's a fake out and we get acceptance back below the bull flag, okay, we're most likely coming down to the bottom. Right. Okay, so let me clean this up and just finish my conversation over here. Is to say, legends, okay, I'm considering a swing failure pattern from the lows over here, where you can see you had a claim of the highs over there, beautiful SFP in hindsight, right, where you could come down and you create another SFP. You get acceptance back above, and I will consider along over here to take us back into trend and maybe get then the breakout here to the upside. So $57,634. In saying this, okay, there is still another probability that we can come down lower. And what are those levels that I'm watching at, or having, or keeping an eye on? Okay, it is this one. Right, legends. So kind of what I'm seeing here at the moment, And I know not a lot of people enjoy Elliott wave theory, but it does give you some sort of direction and levels to look out for if price moves in that direction. So an interesting thing, corrective structure that I'm observing over here is that a WXY, and a WXY basically has ABCs inside of it. You have A, B, C to complete W. You have A, B, C to complete X. And you can now form an A, B, C to the downside to complete Y. Okay. And for a WXY corrective structure, you do have the 1-to-1 ratio, which is a level for a Y corrective structure, and you also have the 1.236. Okay, so this box is what I'm interested in. Now what I do is, taking the scribble out the way, I go and switch on my daily levels, my point of controls, and I see, well, do I have areas of confluence? Okay, also when I take a fib, normal fib here from the low to the high, okay, now the chart's going to look really messy, but I'm trying to find areas of confluence. Right, I do acknowledge, okay, let me just take some of the mess out here out the way. Let me just take this SFP line out. I do acknowledge that with this entire pump here to the upside, we have not tapped a major fib level just as yet. Okay, we have not even tapped the 0.382, which is considered a minimum retracement for bullish continuation. Right, now I switch that Elliott wave scenario back on, not that one, this one. Okay, now I see that, okay, the 1-to-1 ratio has confluence with a naked point of control, also the 382, so I have a box over here of interest, a box of interest over here. So if price, okay, moves down here and into the zone, and I start seeing some bullish CVD building locally, we're getting, you know, that acceptance back above the levels. So what you would want to see is you tap the level, you get acceptance back above, right? You know where to add your risk management, and then it could potentially be game on. What I would also like to see over here, okay, is bullish CVD against this pivot. And I'm going to go through CVD now to explain to you guys why I want to see bullish CVD against this pivot. I don't care about this pivot. I really don't care about this pivot. I want to see bullish CVD against this pivot. So if price does find momentum here to the downside, okay, I want to see some bullish CVD against these two pivots. And I mean, we can go down low. We still have a daily level. We still have a 50% fib level. So basically, if you lose the level, you come down further, you still have another level to observe. Okay. And you can also SFP here from the lows. No problem. But I want to see bullish CVD building up as we move down. The reason that pivot is so important, okay, I want to show you guys something on CVD. When I go onto the 15-minute time frame, smash up the like, legends, for the education over here. Hope you guys are enjoying the alpha, right? I'm giving away so much secret sauce. I think if I get to about, I don't know what the number is, if I get to about 5,000 subscribers on the channel, I'm going to stop giving away secret sauce over here. So you guys are the lucky ones, okay? Right, legends. So when I go onto the 15-minute time frame, okay, and I look at the entire structure that I've just shown you guys, just wait for it to load up. Okay, this is kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Let me just grab my little line over here. So this pivot over here, okay, can everyone see that? When we moved up here, we formed bullish CVD because CVD fell down, and we formed bullish CVD, of which the high was the target. So it played out. Also, when price moved up more against this pivot, we formed more bullish CVD on yellow. Okay, and the target was the high, and it played out. Can you guys see how powerful CVD is? Just playing out every single time. But the rule for CVD is, if you've already had CVD play out against pivots multiple times, it becomes weaker. So in theory, what you're supposed to do is ignore that price action, and now you're only looking at CVD from this pivot. So you ignore all the previous noise, and now what you would like to see is CVD building against this pivot. And then when I look at the structure again, okay, This is how I identify a powerful area from a CVD perspective. We have not built bullish CVD against this pivot as yet. That's what makes it so powerful. So as we made the low over here, okay, and I take my mouse down, we have not made bullish CVD on yellow or on white just as yet, which means that this pivot over here is still untapped, and if we do form bullish CVD against this pivot, it's going to be more than likely one that's going to play out. Okay, so I'm ignoring this pivot at the moment. This is my area of interest. Right, so we do have, you can see CVD is falling down here, price is moving up, so we are forming bullish CVD against these pivots, but most of them have already played out. This is why this pivot is so important to me, because when I zoom into this price action, okay, we can go and have a look. We had bullish CVD against these pivots as CVD fell down. The target was the high and it played out. We took the high, right? So this bullish CVD already played out. Then we formed more bullish CVD against this pivot, and it played out, okay? And now, do we have bullish CVD against these two pivots? I just want to zoom in. Okay, I now need to zoom into the 5-minute time frame. Let's just go and take a closer look. Right, so this is why I think we can still expect a little bit lower momentum here from the price of Bitcoin. When I look at CVD against this pivot, right, as price was moving up here, we formed bullish CVD and it already played out. Okay, so I can't use this pivot anymore. I now need to use a different pivot, and the only pivot that I saw that we did not form bullish CVD against was a pivot over here, and we now formed bullish CVD against it, but we took the low, which in CVD terms is regarded as you've invalidated it. Okay, so basically what I'm telling you guys over here is that this bullish CVD forming over here has already played out, which makes it weaker. Okay, not invalidated, it just makes it weaker. And this is why on the 15-minute time frame, like I've explained to everyone over here, this is why this pivot to me is important. As soon as we start making and creating bullish CVD against this pivot, I'm going to say, okay, it's game on. And we are not far away, legends. We are not far away. Okay, so we're looking at that pivot. Okay, yellow can definitely get there, and white is really not far away to start forming some bullish CVD against this pivot. So legends, I'm saying that there's still a chance, okay, for us to complete a complex corrective structure, which is in the form of a WXY, right? The 618 is also a Y target, but I would like to see the Y take the low of W over here, okay? So what I'm trying to say by the 618 is also a target is that you can, there's an untapped naked point of control at $58,575. So there's definitely a possibility that we find consolidation inside the flag. And this is why I'm highlighting all the possible scenarios, is that we can lose the flag, okay, and hit the Y wave target, make beautiful bullish CVD against this pivot, but we can also stay inside the flag where this is also a Y wave target, and then just consolidate, expecting momentum back to the upside. Okay, why are you always bullish when gonna be bearish? I will be bearish once my scenario gets invalidated. Okay, that's as simple as that. And I can be a bull and a bear, right, legends? I mean, I shorted during this range, okay? I longed over here. I know the legends took the short over here. We longed over here. I longed over here, and I made significant money, right? I unfortunately did not enter a short over there because I wasn't in front of the computer. But I mean, I'm a bull and a bear in the same day, right? If I was in front of my PC, I would have shorted this level over here. Okay, I'm a bull and a bear, right? Yes, I'm neutral. You have to be neutral. From a day trading perspective, you have to be neutral. Okay. all I'm saying is based on technicals at the moment, okay, the bullish scenario to claim the high still carries higher probabilities based on the potential of the bullish CVD building up here, and the 1-1-2 combo that most people are looking at carries very low probability. Okay, this structure still looks corrective and not impulsive to the downside. Right, that is why from this structure perspective, I am still bullish. Hope that makes sense. Right, let's go through some comments over here. Just clean this up. Okay, that looks better. Cool, legends. 92 in chat, only 22 likes. Smash up the like. Yes, please smash up the like. Thunder from South Africa under. Neutral trader. Welcome to the live stream. Impulsively sideways structure. Yes. Okay. If you know, legends, I cannot stress enough that if you want impulses to form, I mean, this is a beautiful impulsive structure, you know, aggressive movement up. It would have been nice to get a 5-wave structure. We didn't get a 5-wave structure. But this is not impulsive. This is sideways. And even if you get a dump here to the downside, okay, there's no sign here, right, that tells me that we are building up momentum for the downside, because the FIP levels that we hit over here are so rare to guarantee almost an impulse here to the downside. Okay, if we did not make this high over here, and when I take a fib, I would have said, legends, okay, this is why I'm still bullish. Someone asked me, why am I so bullish? Okay, if I take a fib from this high to the low, okay, and we reject it by the 786, we didn't come this high, okay, we rejected here by the 786, and this price action played out, I would have said, bearish, we're going down, we're coming to claim the lows, higher probability to come and claim the lows, because this looks like a 1-2, 1-2, and we could expect a third massive explosion here to the downside. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, because this is a 1-1-2. You usually get double 4 5s at the end of the structure as well. And right, so from a technical perspective, this is why I'm bullish, not because I feel like it or I want to be bullish. It's just the structure is not bearish. It's as simple as that. Yes, we're getting momentums here to the downside, but I'm still not bearish, right? As per the thumbnail, we haven't hit a critical FIP level taken from the lows to the highs over here. We haven't even tapped the 0.338 FIP level, which is a minimum retracement area. How on earth can I be bearish? I can't. I just can't. Okay. Right, legends. Okay, based on that bearish CVD here on the smaller time frames, you guys can now see we're getting the dump there to the downside. Okay, right, look at the bearish CVD. Okay, you're forming lower low on price action, higher high on CVD. The target is the low, and we are dumping at the downside. So CVD, a very powerful tool indeed. Right, do you prefer the weekly wick full strategy, 50% or 100%? I don't really I know about it. I know Andy also speaks a lot about it. I don't really use it as part of my trading strategy. So I do know about it, but I do know that the 50% is the golden spot that everyone likes to keep an eye on. So if you have a weekly candle, you retrace 50% of that candle, that's usually where you should get the bounce. Okay, so I do know a lot of traders do look at the 50% mark from a week perspective. Okay. Right. UI champion, Mr. Super Cop. Thanks for joining the stream. Patrick Stuka smashed. Thank you so much. Don't smash twice, 3 times, or once. Okay. It was a perfect short. BTC was priced in yesterday. So are you basically seeing, Fortune, are you saying that the CPI data was priced in? Today is a sell on news event. Yes. I mean, in hindsight, now we can all say that, okay? But for me, a clue here that we're going to find momentum to the downside is that we failed to hold the daily level over here, okay? So let me just clean up the chart a little bit over here. Take the fibs out the way, okay? we failed to hold the daily level. It did look bullish, okay? There was a lot of bullish signs over here, okay? We lost the daily level. We got acceptance back above. And then we thought, okay, we're breaking this trend over here. Also, when you zoom into the 5-minute time frame, there was a nice little bullish pennant here on the 5-minute time frame, okay? And this trade actually played out to perfection. Okay, there was a nice little bull flag here on the 5-minute time frame. There was a point of control which held, which I spoke about this morning in my video update. So if you took this trade, you need to know where to take profit. So usually when I trade a bull flag, my trading setup will look something like this. Okay, you play the breakout, okay, or you buy in at support at lower levels, okay. My entry was actually over there. My entry was far down below, and you take profits by the highs. And we took the highs. So you should have, if you traded this pattern the way that you're supposed to trade the pattern, you should have, I mean, this is an absolutely insane risk to reward. So if you did put your stop loss here below the low, you entered at the breakout, okay, it's a 2.79 risk to reward, and you took profits at the highs where you're supposed to take profits, okay, you have a successful trade in the bag. Bing, right? And as price moved in your favor, you could have protected and de-risked yourself, and voila, Bob's your uncle. But then from a larger time frame perspective, okay, things didn't play out that well, right? So we all know what happened after that. So from a larger time frame perspective, okay, that's a 5-minute trade. You could have had a nice little scalp for the day, beautiful, successful trade. Depending, if you want to play small price movements like that, you can be a little bit more aggressive with leverage, but still only risk not more than 1% of your portfolio, right? So this was the sign of weakness here to the downside. You get acceptance back below the trend, you lose the daily level, and that's typically where, I mean, the stop loss is a little bit far, but the risk reward is worth it, okay? So whoever shorted this area, well done, okay? You now have some profits in the bag. I'd be curious on the week question 2. I used the week on chart logarithmic due to high volatile moves. On the weekly candle, okay, I will go do some more research in that. I've never used that strategy. I do know of some traders that do use that strategy. I'll have a chat with them, and I will come and share it with you guys in the upcoming live streams. Okay, but I don't want to go and talk about something where I'm not completely sure, because I don't use it as part of my trading strategy. Okay, it's just the way that I trade, and I've never had to use it to be a successful trader. So I stick to what I know, what makes me money, and if I do include something as part of my trading strategy that's beneficial, I will go do research, I will back test it, I will see if it works, if it doesn't work. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about the 2-week levels. Okay, I was back testing the 2-week levels. I went onto the 2-week time frame, and I started including 2-week levels. Okay, and I found that they don't work. They don't really offer much of anything. The weekly levels, the daily levels, the monthly levels, they are the most powerful. Your naked point of controls. Okay, so I've tried the 2-week levels, and yeah, they don't work so great. Okay, when you have a 2-week candle that has confluence with another weekly level and a daily level, then it's powerful. But then I just might as well just stick to weekly and daily levels. Okay, so I mean, we have a weekly level over here. This is why this one is marked weekly and daily, because it's a weekly level, it's a 2-week level, and it's also a daily level. Okay, also a daily level. So quite a strong area of resistance over here. Right, legends, remember, down in the description, under exchanges, Bluffin, Bybit, and 𝗖𝗍cie. No KYC required for Bluffin. 80K bonus, depending on how much you deposit or trade. Go down. This is your way to also support the channel. And right, go sign up, come trade with me. What else? What else, legends? I think that basically summarizes what I wanted to highlight here on the price of Bitcoin. So going back onto the 1-hour time frame, let's just do a quick summary over here, right? And then we can jump into maybe a couple of alts, right? Crypto big brains, alts to look at BNB, yes, I have not looked at BNB in a very long time, so it would be interesting to look at BNB. 𝗬𝗆𝗆cie and Filecoin. Okay, thanks, Mr. Crypto Big Brains. Now that I've got your comment, I know what to focus on. So, legends, in summary, we either stay inside the flag, okay? We maybe find, we maybe find support here by this naked point of control at 59,575, and we stay inside the flag, and then we have the breakout here to the upside. I would like to see a little bit of a fake out to the downside. Personally, I would like to see the fake out because we had the fake out to the top. You usually get the fake out to the bottom, and then you have the true breakout. Okay. I would like to see bullish CVD building against this pivot. If we do lose the flag here to the downside, I would like to see some bullish CVD against this pivot. There's also an untapped 382 level over here. So this is definitely a zone that I will be keeping an eye on if we do lose that level. Just want to look at CVD here. I see we're getting a little bit of a pump here to the upside, but okay. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Right, but still inside the flag. Okay, legends, let's go look at a couple of altcoins. Let's just use Solana over here. The tab Solana. BNB. I don't even think I have it on my list. Oh, I do. Mr. BNB. Let's go. Ooh, I have done some analysis here on BNB, but not in a while. Okay. Okay, you are finding some support. Over here. I don't see any bullish divergence just as yet here on BNB. And okay, but we have found support here above the highs, right? So we have to acknowledge we have bounced here on the highs, right? We had a week down and we got acceptance back above. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. AB. It looks like it still needs to come down a little bit lower. And just want to take a fib extension here from the high to the low to the high. Reverse. Okay, 1 to 1. Yes, legends. I mean, it's just BNB is in a zone, a no trading zone for me at the moment. Okay, I am not convinced. I would ideally, what I would like to see here on the price of BNB is at least tapping the 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, even the 1.236 in confluence with this support box over here is a better corrective target. Okay, the 1-to-1, the 1.236 are generally your most common corrective targets. The fact that we made an ABC down here and it tapped the 0.618 is a very rare target. Okay, so I mean we have to acknowledge that we have found support. So on the lower time frames, from a trading perspective, I would just be careful for fake outs because we didn't tap. Okay, a corrective structure here to the downside that I really like is that you can keep a trend, an eye on this trend, set your alarm. Okay, and observe the reaction when we get to the trend. But it definitely has a chance to move up here, okay, and reject and come and take the low again, because I don't even spot any hidden bullish divergence. It's just the lows look exactly the same here on the normal RSI. So, I mean, definitely a possibility for a rejection. Okay, if we tap the the 1-to-1 ratio over here, you get acceptance back inside the resistance. I would say that looks more bullish. Okay, I like this a little bit more. But for now, also the possibility of breaking out here, and that's why I'll just keep them attract the momentum here to the downside. Okay, so not much to say on BNB. I know it's done phenomenal things here to the upside since the fear year at the bottom. There was just so much fear here. BNB is going to lose the level. It's going to crash. It's going to do what FTX did. And I mean, BNB has just been an absolute monster here to the upside, but it looks like it needs a little bit more of a cool off. Okay, I would like it to come down lower. Right, Ideal, thank you for your TAs. Always, Frank, welcome. You're most welcome. Okay, the next one is a Turbo, right? Let's go look at Turbo for the legends over here. Is that the ticker, Turbo? USDT. Which one should I look at? OKX. Let's go see. Okay, is this all the data that's available for Turbo? Let's try a different exchange, 𝗞𝗍𝗃𝗍. Okay, it looks like that's the only data that's available. Okay, let's rather go into the daily because there's not a lot of data. Okay, it is really difficult to analyze, okay, a chart from a long-term perspective if there's only this, okay, because all we did is dumped and pumped. That's it. There's no dumps and pumps in the past and bull markets and bear markets where you have nice areas of confluence. Okay, so I mean, you you are finding support here above the launch price, okay, when it got launched or when it made this high over here. This is where you're currently finding support. It's not a strong support level, okay? Stronger support levels are down here, okay? These are your nice, strong support levels, okay? Even the highs over here is a better support level for me. Right, so I mean, it does look like it's still making lower high over here. It had a massive bump here to the upside, okay? And it does look like it's forming beautiful trend lines. You can see it broke out, okay, and it broke out, and now it did a retest, okay? So it had a breakout. Could this be a retest for continuation here to the upside? Right, so it has a chance. It definitely has a chance to continue the momentum here to the upside. From an investment perspective, I would like these levels to be hit from an investment perspective where you know that there's stronger support, okay? But I mean, we have to admit it's been absolutely bullish here to the upside, and it can still continue momentum here to the upside, okay? So one trend that I will track is definitely the bounce that we got, the retest on the bounce. There's another one that you can track over there to see that, well, do we get a successful breakout to the upside? And then maybe on the smaller time frames, let's see. Let's go on to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, actually looks like it wants to break out over here. So even on the smaller time frame, just want to see here. Okay, it is making some slight, ever so slightly bullish divergence against this pivot and this pivot. Slight higher high, lower low in price action. So it looks like the target could be the high over here. So I mean, on the 4-hour, there's your trading opportunity. Okay. Obviously, you don't want to get, like what happened to Bitcoin, you don't want to get acceptance back below the trend because this is what could happen. Okay. So looking at Turbo, what you would like to see is us hold this trend. This trend needs to hold. As soon as you get acceptance back below the trend, you increase probabilities of coming down lower. So as long as we're above the trend where we are at the moment, it has a chance to find upwards momentum here. And then what I will do is I'll take a fib from the high to the low, and you can see, oof, beautiful, the 618 underbelly resistance over here. 50%, it does have some resistance over there, and the 786, okay? So you take profits on the way up. You take profits on the way up because you never guarantee that you're going to come claim the high. But based on the hidden bullish CVD over here, or bullish divergence, let me not call it CVD, the bullish divergence, there's a chance to come and claim the high. But I would definitely pay myself on the way up because you just never know. Okay. But for now, based on the price action that I'm seeing at the moment, it has a chance. Okay. As long as we stay above trend. Okay. Right. I hope that gives you some clear guidance here at the moment. We need to stay above that trend. Right. I just want to see if it doesn't look better on the regular scale over here. Okay. So from a regular perspective, still great. I mean, if you played the breakout over here, that looks like a retest and wants to continue. Okay. Right. Bybit link. Yes. Do you consider weak in TA? By the way, huge fan of you and Andy. Ambu, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Everyone is asking about the week. Are you guys talking about the weekly week? I did say I will go and do some research and I will give some feedback on the week. Okay. I know Andy uses it. I'm not a big fan of it. I've never had to use it. It's not part of my trading strategy. But for you guys, I will go and do research. I will go and back test it, see how it played out in the past, and then I will come and present it to everyone to say that, well, does it carry high probabilities from a trading perspective? Is it even worth looking at it? Okay. I personally like to include as little as possible indicators when I trade. Okay, the only indicator that I use is CVD. That's it. That's all I use, right? These levels and stuff is just horizontal resistance and support levels that I identify, and I watch the price reaction when we hit those levels. Okay, you don't see MACDs and moving averages and anything else on my chart. And usually when people's chart looks extremely dirty and all these hundreds of indicators that they use, okay, more than likely they don't make profits. Okay, the less indicators, the better. The cleaner the kitchen, the better the food, right? That's what I like to say. Your prediction that Bitcoin takes the high might come soonest than you think, pumping again. Yes, I mean, we are getting a little bit of a recovery yet to the upside. But I mean, legends, one thing that I'm always keeping an eye on is if I switch back on my trends. Okay, I do acknowledge the fact, usually when you lose a level, okay, you can go back to the scene of the crime, maybe find resistance over here, and you make a lower high, and you continue the momentum here to the downside. Okay, I'm not convinced that this pump is just going to do this. Definitely a possibility, okay? Definitely a possibility that it can do that, right? But then I'll be there observing the price action again. I want to see us get acceptance back above that naked point of control of this entire range. So when I take a fixed range of this entire range that we've been in, what I would like to see to turn bullish for a breakout to the upside. Okay, so let's just play out the scenario. We can't just, say that it's not going to happen. If the scenario had to play out where we get the bounce here to the upside, and that is the low for now, and you can see how beautifully actually we bounced on the range low over here. Okay, that's where we got supported. You get acceptance back inside the range. You have a deviation, you go to the bottom. You have a deviation, you go to the top. Now we had a deviation, we went to the bottom. So definitely a possibility, but I want to see us reclaim the point of control because that's where the most volume was traded. So two possibilities that's going to play out over here. We maybe find continuation here to the upside and we smack back down, making a lower high, failing to break this level over here. Or we get acceptance back above the point of control. You're also breaking the trend. And if you start closing high time frame candles above, I will say, okay, game on. I'm going to attempt a long over here, right? It's just I need to respond to what the price action is telling me. But I can guarantee you guys, as we move up here and I spot bearish CVD against these two pivots, I'm most probably going to look for shorts. Okay. What else? What else? Fantom. Have I not looked at Fantom? Let's go look at Fantom. I think I do have it here in my list. That's Filecoin, FTM. Oh, I have actually looked at Fantom not so long ago during one of my previous live streams. I think this week I have actually looked at Fantom. Okay. Okay. I mean, I always start with a simple analysis first, keeping an eye on the trend. Okay, I like that trend. I know that it doesn't connect with these highs, but I consider this a fake out because most of the pivots touch over here. So this to me is a valid trend over here. So keep an eye on the trend. We did bounce at a 786 level, okay, which is considered a maximum target. So if you're still expecting a massive bullish momentum here to the upside, you want this to be the low. You really want this to be the low. And if we come back down and you tap the point of control, you want to see us get acceptance back above without tapping the 0.8. Okay, tapping the 0.88 increases the probabilities that you're going to come take the low once again. Right, so what I'm looking here at Fantom is that we have tapped the 786. So for now, based on the price action, there's a possibility for momentum here to the upside. It is a little bit strange that it didn't tap the point of control of the range. Okay, but nonetheless, we have to trade the price action that is in front of us. At least we did tap a important Fibonacci from a macro perspective over here. Then what I would look for is maybe on the lower time frames, we'll find a little bit more clues. Okay, the first trend. Okay, there was a break of trend that you could have played the momentum to the upside. There's another one, and this is currently where we're getting the consolidation. Okay, so connecting this high against this high. Let me just zoom in to make it more visible. Okay, you can see this is currently where we're getting the consolidation, right? So what you want to see for bullish continuation to the upside is Fantom needs to break this trend and have some high time frame candles like a 1 hour, 4 hour candle close above for continuation. But at the moment, it's still trading below the trend. So this can definitely be a rejection for a little bit downwards momentum. Okay. Right, legends, thank you so much for joining. This is unfortunately all I have time for today. Smash up the like for the alpha over here if you enjoy the content. Subscribe for future notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now.